It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. I hope you are still buzzing after the weekend's action. If you were in the mother city and you were trackside, it looked spectacular as Antonio Felix da Costa drove a storming race from 11th on the grid to his first win for Tag Heuer Porsche in the inaugural Cape Town E-Prix. So only 13 drivers finished the action-packed and incident-filled race. We said this looking at the size of that track, dude. And of course, there were incidents right across the board with a last lap overtake by da Costa. One of the many highlights from this incredible race, man.
Oh, dude, it was insane. But here to chat about the race and the experiences, motoring expert Chiro Sienna is back, my brother. Good to see
Hello,
you,
guys.
man.
It's so lovely to be here.
Sure.
What a little time walk is this, man. We heard you were coming back, so we brought him back. So
Look at that. But listen, I was unfortunately not able to watch this weekend, but I did follow on social media and the news feeds and whatever, and it looked like it was buzzing. There was, despite load shedding, there was electricity.
and a bit of mayhem.
But listen, before we get into the race itself, give us a sense of the atmosphere that was, you know, around the Greenpoint precinct and the track itself, because it definitely seemed like it was a vibe.
Which is awesome.
For me, there's two words: pure joy.
Really?
That's what this event brought. You know, there's two ways of looking at it, I think. What was the event itself and what does it represent? And for me, this is the best that South Africa can be. South Africans are capable of magic despite all the hardships that we face. And the fact that Formula E put their trust in us to bring the circus here.
Put their money.
Yep, and all the money as well. And being there was absolutely epic. The sheer positivity from the crowd of just seeing this whole thing actually taking place was completely infectious. And when I left the venue, I was on a complete high. I was on like a high for 2 days after that, you know. And then, of course, the race was spectacular as well, the actual race itself.
Please, talk us through. So we had Calvin van der Linde, who obviously got like a last-minute option to be in the race, and I felt so bad for the kid. I mean, I've been interviewing him since he was about 6 in parts, and he's good, but no one is that good. So, my heart goes out to you, brother, because he didn't have the best weekend, obviously.
And nothing of his own fault.
No, completely. But da Costa did have the race of his life, and it was crazy trying to keep track of how and what was going on. So walk us through the madness.
So I think two things that perhaps were underestimated with this track was how fast it was going to be. It is the fastest track in Formula E history ever. This is the fastest track in the world, and by their own admission, by Formula E's own admission, it's the most beautiful as well. So the drivers.
It's like Monaco. Look at that.
The drivers were absolutely pushed to their limit. That point there where you just saw them on the TV now, there's the overtake. They're doing 300 k's an hour through the streets of Cape Town. You can watch motorsport for 10 years and you might not see an overtake like that.
And the funny thing is the drivers were anticipating like 260 as a max speed going into the race. So they must have had a wake-up call.
These new Gen 3 cars, so I've been really lucky. I've actually watched Formula E in Monaco and I've watched Formula E in London. Our circuit blows it out of the water. It's more beautiful, it's more technical, it's more challenging for the drivers, and it resulted in some of the best motorsport I've ever seen.
It was a world-class event. Let's put it down to that. I mean, it was not only beautiful, but I mean, people came out. It worked. It seems that everything was running smoothly. Kevin van der Linde, what exactly happened there? Why couldn't he line up for that start?
So in Formula E, how it works is you have manufacturer teams, like say Mahindra, for instance, or Porsche, and then you have what are called client teams. So these are teams that can't develop their own race cars for whatever reason. So Mahindra supplies 2 cars to the Cupra team, which Calvin van der Linde was racing for. Now, before they got to the track, they thought that perhaps there might be an issue with their rear suspension, which is one of the only areas of the car which the manufacturers are actually allowed to develop themselves, because the car is mostly homologated, so it keeps the racing very even. Then they got to Cape Town. Now, Cape Town's fast. There was also quite a few mid-corner bumps, and what that was doing was it was overloading the rear suspension, and the engineers were picking up too much flex on where the suspension connects to the body, and they actually made a call for safety reasons not to send the drivers out, because a collapse of the rear suspension at 300 k's an hour, and you're in trouble. You're in real trouble, and no one wants to see anyone injured or hurt. So
wrong direction you're going to go in.
Calvin, not that tempers your heartache at this stage. I get that. I just driving around the track the day before was just amazing. But I think where this really matters is with the people and the vibe and the atmosphere. So let's take you into that moment right now.
I'm devastated, to be honest. I had such a positive vibe from all the fans, you know, going to the fan village earlier. Was really excited to get going. We had an amazing free practice this morning, probably one of the most positive ones we've had all season. So I thought in qualifying we could really do something, start up in the thick of the thing. So yeah, it's a bit of a downer now. So yeah, I guess that's the way life works out sometimes.
Oh, man, I love you, kid.
Gutted for him. Gutted for him. But his brother won the Kyalami 9 hours, so for the Van der Linde family, quite a good weekend.
They're going to be all right. What does this mean for motorsport in SA? We look at these events as the tip of the spear. I had Bruce Banner talking about the development of the sport. I was like, when are we going to see a driver? He's like, forget a driver. How about a team and a championship and. From your perspective, what does this mean for SA's motorsport?
So from what I understand, Formula E have given the local promoters, E-Movement, headed by Ian Banner, a 5-year contract. So we will see at least another 4 Formula E races in Cape Town. And I think that the one driver, I forget which one now, I think it was Dan Ticktum, he said that after that race, he sat in front of the TV cameras for around the world and he said, I think this is what Formula E should be. That's how they felt about the race afterwards. The drivers absolutely loved it. It was a sold-out crowd. It was exceptionally well put together. Obviously, load shedding was an issue. They put all the backups in place to make sure that it wasn't an issue. And I think 50 to 100 million people saw our beautiful city around the world, and that can only be good for us as well as a city. I was just bursting with pride watching that television coverage.
Who needs Spurs in a Formula E?
Exactly.
Come on, he says with a wry smile. Great to have you back, my friend.
Lovely
and great to have Cape Town as the epicenter of the motoring world for just a moment. Oh, I hope you were able to be there and relish it for yourself.